Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, my aunt took me on a trip to New Orleans to her condo, and we saw a lot of trains. Let's get into it. After about a 3-hour drive, we hit the Mississippi line. And our first stop will be Biloxi, Mississippi, where we would get absolutely jump scared by a train immediately. And I know these engineers' arms are tired. They have to honk at every single crossing. I feel bad. This is the CSX ethanol train with a interesting boxcar up front. And about an hour later, we hit the Louisiana line. And then an hour later, found a mixed freight leaving CSX Gentile Yard in downtown. It also has some interesting cars, like these Burlington Northern Hoppers in the middle of the train. And this huge flat car just to carry like 12 pieces of wood. What are we doing? Okay, wait, that was nice. Then we drove through the dead center of Gentile Yard. Not sure if we're supposed to do this or not, but we found some Union Pacific power. We went to the Amtrak station later and found a Dash 8 in storage, some random sleeper cars, and the end of the Amtrak Mardi Gras. Then we saw a green signal, and the Mardi Gras pulled out with Amtrak 180 leading. I can't remember what phase paint scheme it is, but I thought it was heritage. Then we saw the RTA streetcars moving around on the main drag.
That's what I said. If you hear the squeaking during the night, it's just them making that turn and squeak.
And another one. And another one. And another one. There's so many of these moving around. Oh, did I mention another one? Bro, how many of these are there? This is the last one we saw, by the way. Then we woke up the next morning, walked down some streets, and missed a Union Pacific train.
That's not the public belt. That's a regular train.
Oh, you thought the trolley scene was done? You are dead wrong. And how's another one sound? We're never gonna stop seeing these things. Then we got stopped by Norfolk Southern train doing some swishing in the NS Oliver Yard downtown. Then he stopped. Backed up, then stopped again. Then he pulled forward. And backed up again. Why does he keep stopping? He eventually, finally, backed away from the crossing.
That's where we go.
Then we saw a BNSF train come off the Huey P. Long Bridge. And then we stopped at a crossing along the Canadian National Macomb sub and immediately saw headlights. And then we saw more headlights from the opposite direction. This was a Canadian National ethanol train. And I had a bad feeling they were going to meet and him get blocked, but the train was a Kansas City Southern powered local with a GP40 and ES44 AC, which was short. Then we saw more headlights, and I was still thinking, oh no, this is going to meet. But the Canadian National train still had to work the yard, so thank God. And just watch what happens right here. Amazing horn show and perfect timing. This is the Amtrak city of New Orleans, by the way. bravo to that engineer. Thank you so much. Then I had to sprint to the tracks because the Canadian National train was moving. After that, we went to the Huey P. Long Bridge, where we'd see a BNSF-powered auto-rack train. It was 2G votes, so nothing special. Then we got back on the Huey P. Long Bridge, and we saw the end of the auto-rack train, and that's that.
Then use the right lane to keep right to US 90 East, Louisiana.
On Friday, we went back to the NS Oliver Yard where you see NS 4390 pulling some cars out. This engine will be in the video for the next 10 minutes. Then he pulled out light power. The conductor got on the back, and they started backing up. And then they pulled out again with a bunch of drain hoppers. That's one where we get to hear the price of this engine, the Nathan P5. Then they would back up again. Then 4390 would come by me again. Then they would pull forward again. And reverse again. Pull forward again. got tired of recording 4390 until the engineer did this. Then he backed up and honked again.
Yeah, I forgot.
Did you hear that voice right there? I'm going to explain who that is in just a second. This is NS Railfan, a person I met at the Oliver Yard. Please go check him out. And please check me out because he has more subs than me. Then we saw a streetcar moving on the main drag. And another one. And the last streetcar we saw the entire trip. So this is Slidell, Louisiana at the Amtrak station, where we'd camp up for a few hours. The first thing we saw was the Amtrak 20 with the Charger leading, of course. Then they honked the horn, and the Amtrak 20 would pull out and head north. This would be the last train of the trip until we stopped in Mobile, where a long hood Ford ES40 DC would be leading a local immediately. Then this Norfolk Southern coal train inched up closer. So let me explain this image right here. There was a state truck sitting at this crossing. she told this train to inch up, and she told me to come with her, and she told me to stand there, and she took my picture on Norfolk Southern 8006. I was very grateful, and yeah, that's it. Thank you. Then that train got a rare lunar white signal and pulled out. And then the actual last train of the video would be the Amtrak Mardi Gras sitting idle in Mobile, waiting until 4 o'clock to depart. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Go check out NS Railfan, and I'll see you next time.